Hey everybody, it's Jim from Jim's Wholiest, Coleus. Hope your weekend went well. Hope your week is starting off well. Hey, I'm gonna do a quick combination product review and a great item if you're a gardener and perhaps you're looking to get into some simple composting, and if you have some leaves. This is the Worx brand. It's a combination blower and vacuum mulcher. I don't really use the blower too much. I primarily purchased this for vacuuming up leaves and mulching them to small pieces, which I'll show shortly, and which makes great compost mulch, or compost, not mulch really. Great compost that I'll show later on, and where I actually put it in my vegetable garden, and I harvest, and I do use it for my planters. Here's some of my planters, and it's really at the end of the season, obviously, as you've been, for those of you who've been following Jim's Wholiest Coleus. So we got lots of seed stalks. These are going to be cut down shortly. Those of you, a lot of people ask, you know, what do I do with my plants? I have so many seeds, and every year for the past 8 years I do the same thing. I cut these down, I harvest whatever seeds I need, and then I cut them down, and again I'll throw these on my compost pile as well. Yeah, even with the seeds, and I don't get a lot of Coleus seeds, so I try to pick most of the Coleus seeds that I don't want. I pick and throw out, because I have thousands, I have tens of thousands of seeds, so you know, I can't keep them all. And these are just a tremendous amount of seeds. So I cut these planters down, probably in another week or so, and then I'll put some mums in here just for the Halloween season. And this hanging basket left over, and I'll just keep it until the frost kills it, and then just recycle you know, I'll just cut the plant down and put it in my greenhouse. So, but anyway, the purposes of the video is this Worx blower mulcher. This is probably one of the most cost-effective, best landscape purchase items I've ever made. I bought a Mantis power tiller years ago, and that was really good, very helpful. But this for yard cleanup. Now I do have a landscaper, but again, that's for cutting my grass and so forth. I purchased this specifically so I can grind up this Canadian maple tree. This is a monster. I get so many leaves, so I use it, and it's very handy. It cleans up all the flower beds, and the beautiful thing about it is it will not suck up the rocks. So I can go through here, pick up just the leaves, and it won't suck up the rocks. So that's what it's a tremendous product. I highly recommend it. I think I got it on Amazon, like most of my items, and I bought this about 4 years ago. The only thing I recommend, buy 2 bags. You can buy the bags on Amazon as well. They're like $29, $30 a piece. I highly recommend you get a couple. And again, I'll mention in some later videos when you're using this, and you'll get to know how to use the machine with my video. Don't overfill the bag, because the zippers, you know, they'll and eventually you'll start to tear your zipper. So know the limits of the bag. You'll know how it sounds and so forth when it's time to shut it off and empty the bag. So, but I think this is about $189. They have a couple of different versions with the stainless steel blade and so forth. This is the higher end one. I highly recommend the higher end one, which I think was close to $200. Highly recommend this. Again, and later on we'll get into, I'll show you how I use the product for my composting. So great item. Definitely get it if you're looking for a quality mulcher, composter, Highly recommend this. And it also here, we'll go on here, I'll just show you real quick. Here's your lever to turn. If you want it to be a blower, there's your blower on the bottom, and it's fairly strong. It's pretty good. And there's your vacuum up top. It's pretty good, and it's very safe. You can release the mechanism here to clean off any of the blade. I'll show you right here. If you get something stuck in it, it pops out, and sometimes you'll get a twine or some kind of an item that you didn't see that gets stuck in there. Unplug it before you put your fingers in there, and you can clean it out. Or if something gets stuck in here, you can clean it out, and it snaps back together real easily. So it's a really good product. And again, I've had it about 4 years, and it's cost effective for the amount of money. And really, it's the only landscape besides rakes and so forth. I don't have mowers, I don't have weed trimmers, I don't do any of that. I let landscapers do it because landscaping is just not my thing. I don't have the patience for the weed trimmers and all that other stuff. So I'm happy to give some business to local landscapers. So, all right, so I hope this helps out, and definitely get one of these if you've been meaning to buy one, or you're on the fence. So, all right, this is the Worx. And as you can see, I always wear eye protection, and I recommend the eye protection and the mask. go over here and I'll show you how well this mulches the leaf debris. Okay, so a fairly decent sized pile is ground up. These are, this is a maple, Canadian maple tree. I let the leaves brown, and you get best results. Although you can grind up fresh leaves, but for using this, I find better to let them brown a little bit, and then they'll crumble, and you get a better compost mixture. So with the Worx machine, you can actually hear when the bag is full. You can feel it. It's almost like a bagpiper's bag, but you can feel when it's full and hear it. And I suggest that you don't overfill these because the zippers rip. The bags you can buy extra. I've always buy 2. They're $29, so they're well worth it. But don't overfill it. I find if you overfill it, you stress the zipper and it rips, and then you're done. So very, very effective. Okay, here we go. Again, the leaves are ground up pretty well. Make sure you get a lot of it out. Clear the zipper away. It keeps the zipper from getting snagged and so forth. But you can see they ground out really fine. And this is perfect because I pile these leaves, and there's lots of, this is great compost mixed. Talk about nutrients, rich nutrients. You know, you got to pick out some plastic and so forth, but talk about nutrient-rich compost. I fill this, I just pile a compost pile and let it, I let it just compost over the fall and winter. Turn it around. I put it on my garden bed with my vegetable gardens. I'll show you in a few minutes. And I just turn it, and it makes great compost. These break down really well, very easily, especially after it rains. You get really good results. I highly recommend this Worx blower, vac, and mulcher. Hey, this is Jim's Wholiest of Coleus. All right, now this is this is my simple. We don't have a big vegetable garden in our home. But basically this is our vegetable garden. It's obviously at the end of the season, so we're gonna cut this down. I gotta clean that railroad tie out of there, but this is all gonna be cleaned down. I'm gonna overturn it, turn it all, and this is where I pile all of that mulched, those maple leaves. I mulch them. It's piled up now. I don't recommend you pile your mulch leaves up against the building like this. This is just for now. What I do is I layer it flat, and I constantly turn it over, because if you get when you're composting like this, when you have piles of organic matter breaking down, you're getting methanes and all sorts of gases coming up. And actually, you'll see the steam. Like if you go to some landscape places and they have mulch or whatever, you'll see steam coming out. This stuff actually heats up. Not that it can actually start your building on fire, but they don't recommend you compost up high piles really high up against your building. Just take that into account. But anyway, this, I'm going to chop all these down. Doesn't look like a big area, it's not, but I turn it over the soil and I flatten out all this mulch that I have, the wheelbarrow full of mulched leaves, and I just turn it over it as it rains and so forth. It breaks down and flattens out and so forth. So that one tree in the front will fill this whole vegetable garden bed, and it's great. It really does. And actually I'll use a lot of this mulching, and I do buy some other organic bags of Ocean Grow for a lot of my larger planters that you see on my videos. So I highly recommend, if you're looking to get one of those vacuum mulcher Worx vacuum mulchers, I highly recommend them. They're really, they make it so much easier to get rid of yard leaf waste and compost. You get a great bang for your buck on it. So all right, hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope this helps those of you out who may be looking to get into some composting.